So you don't need to repeat. That was a dress rehearsal, but it was okay, so I won't speak again. Those that weren't here, weren't outside because you had to maintain the occupation of the theatre, I want to say thanks very much and well done for what you're doing. Because even if numbers are limited and you do get unwarranted intrusions by people looking for things that aren't here and they won't find them mainly because they're not here, it's a sort of philosophical point you need to make. I want to say thanks very much because it does mean an awful lot to people in other colleges and universities and people all over that students at the LSE, which is such a huge reputation and such a huge name around the world, have taken action in support of the people of Palestine. Because you have to remember that everything we do here is repeated across the world on various TV channels. And whilst the BBC, Sky and Fox might have their own particular news agenda, the news agenda that's followed by a lot of the other channels, such as Al Jazeera and Press TV, is very different. And just a word in Gaza, saying something in support of the people of Gaza, makes an awful big difference. I didn't realise how big it was until I was walking through East Jerusalem last winter. And I just walked past this cafe and this man rushed out and he says, "Man with green jacket, come in and have tea." Because he'd seen me on Al Jazeera speaking up to the Palestinians. And so it means a lot for people in this country to say something. The other point I'd like to make is about the media coverage of this war. I don't know how much television you get to watch. I guess in here probably not very much, but you should get one. They're not so hard to find. If you look at the sense of news values, BBC varies, but basically tends to report it as a conflict of equals between Israel and Hamas, which of course it is not. Fox News either doesn't report it at all or reports it entirely from the sort of Zippy Livni, etc. point of view. Others tend to give much more detailed and much more continuous coverage, particularly Al Jazeera. But I found something sort of deeply angering last, wasn't it Thursday evening, when that plane crashed into the Hudson River and all the passengers survived. And I was delighted they all survived, and fair dues to the pilot, he brought the plane down, fair dues to the rescue service, they got them all out. But we didn't need 12 hours of a sort of media fest of celebration of this, because of course at the same time several hundred people in Gaza were under bombardment and lost their lives. Many more children died, ignored by the world's media, because everything that happens in the USA is 100 times more important than happens anywhere else in the world. And that's not to take it away from that it was a remarkable rescue. What is remarkable is that Israel has conducted this 3 weeks of bombing campaign with arms and weapons supplied largely by the USA, but I suspect some from this country, and has flouted international law in every respect. We have to continue our support for the Palestinian people and their right to exist in peace. We have to continue and intensify the campaign to bring Israel to justice, ensure the perpetrators of this war, be it Ehud Barak, Olmert, Zippy Livni, or President of Sharon, actually, not Sharon, you know, the President of Israel, actually be brought to justice for this, because these are war crimes that have been committed against a largely defenseless population. And any other country, any other time, any other place in the world, economic sanctions would follow. Why is it different for Israel? I leave that thought with you. Thanks very much. Very quickly, I've got to do a TV at 7, so I have to be very quick. Just one.
I'm intrigued. What would you say to people who say that this is not a legitimate protest? People who criticise this protest on various grounds, like it's undemocratic, whatever they want to say.
You're exercising your right to show to the people of the LSE, as well as the wider world, that you're trying to do something in support of Gaza. The Norwegian rail workers undertook an instant demonstration when every train stopped at the same time. It's protests like that. You push out the envelope a little bit, it encourages everybody else to open the envelope. So carry on doing it. Don't be ashamed, don't apologise, do it. Okay. Then I must fly, is that okay? Yeah.
What about your government's ethnic cleansing of its own citizens in Lego Garcia? Some of us are trying to implement return for UK citizens to return to their own country. the Chagos archipelago in the Indian Ocean. What is your position in the House of Lords decision about the House of Lords decision for UK citizens, prohibiting UK citizens?
Understand your question. Very quickly, thank you for the question. I have been involved with the campaign of the Chagos Islanders from Diego Garcia and the other islands for a very long time. And indeed, it was Tamdiel and myself that managed to get the amendment through in the House of Commons, which gave them the right to British citizenship. I have been to Mauritius to meet the Chagos Islanders, the Chagosian people, and supported them through all the court processes. We won at every stage to overturn the orders in council of 2004. We lost, as you know, in the House of Lords by three judges to 2. I've spoken at length with Olivier Bancoul and others, and they're now launched, indeed already registered, a case with the European Court of Human Rights, and we've set up an all-party parliamentary group in support of the Chagos Islanders, and I've been elected chair of that group, and I will continue supporting them. They have a right to return to their islands. It was a scabby, nasty deal that was done in the 1960s between Britain and the USA to deny them their right to live in order to make way for an American base. I will continue supporting them.